one thing I really know, like really know, it's Disney. I have been to Disney numerous times, and I've really gone out of my way, not out of my way, but over those times I've really learned a lot of the ins and outs. I've eaten in a lot of the restaurants, I've experienced a lot of things there, and I've gone with different groups of people. Like I've gone with friends, I've gone with family, I've gone with little kids, I've gone with both at the same time. And I really wanted to start doing videos that pertain to Disney. Just different things that I feel like if you were planning a trip could be helpful to know. So I'm going to start a little series with it and maybe post like 1 or 2 a month just because it's Disney and I love Disney. And if I can combine 2 things I love, like Disney and YouTube, why not, right? So the first video I wanted to do was actually my top 5 like sit-down meals, restaurants at Disney World. Now, if you're not familiar, Disney has like 2 different types of, well, more than 2, but the main 2 types of food service are either quick service or sit-down restaurants. Quick service is more like you go up to the counter, you place your order, you get a tray with food, you find your own table, and you eat. Regardless of if that's a fast food place or if it's a salad or if it's fruit or sushi or Italian or whatever. You know, it's a quick service. You do it yourself. You're just paying for the meal, like for your food. No tip, no nothing like that. You sit, you eat, you clean up after yourself, throw away your tray, throw away your tray, throw away your trash, put back your tray, and you leave. Meal, like a sit-down meal, is like you go to the restaurant, the waiter or waitress sits you down, you place your order, they bring your food. It's more of a production, you know. You don't serve yourself. You look at a menu at the table kind of deal. I would suggest with any sit-down restaurant at Disney that you make a reservation. You can make reservations, I believe it's 180 days before you will be eating. And you can make them before you have park tickets. Like you do not need your park ticket to make a reservation. However, if you're going to eat dinner in the park, you need a park ticket. Do you see what I'm saying? Like you don't need it at the time of making the reservation, but when you actually go to eat, you're going to need it. So don't think like, oh, well, I'm not buying tickets until, I don't know, a month before we go, so I can't make reservations until a month before we go. Not true. You can make sit-down meal reservations 180 days out. And if you're not actually in one of the parks, so if you're not in Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood Studios, or Animal Kingdom, you can even eat, even if you're not going to Disney World. Like you could still make reservations at Downtown Disney or inside one of the resorts. And the resorts have some of the best restaurants. I believe on this list I only have 1 that's in a resort. Sorry, I was looking down because I have my list here, my notes. But yeah, there's a lot of good ones that I'll probably get to in other videos because I have different ideas for the meal theme of this. But this is primarily like my top 5 sit-down restaurants. And this is just my opinion. If you wanted a video on ones that I've eaten at and I would never go back to, I would do that as well. There aren't very many, I have to be honest. There's maybe 3 I can think of off the top of my head. There might be more, but that's just what's coming to me right now. And this is by no means like in any order. And there are a ton of other restaurants that I really, really love. I just had to narrow it down to 5 for this video or else I'd be sitting here talking for hours and nobody wants to watch that. So, you know. So number 1 on my list, hands down, and this is the only one that I would give the number 1 spot to, is Ohana. Ohana is inside Disney's Polynesian Resort, which is by Magic Kingdom. It's actually right across the lagoon from Magic Kingdom. So you do not need a park ticket to go there. It is in a resort. You can just drive onto Disney property, park at the Polynesian, and go eat at Ohana. I do not know. I don't think they do lunch there. If they do, I've never been. I've been there for breakfast and dinner. I haven't been there for dinner in quite some time, but it is amazing. I was just there for breakfast in October. Breakfast is what they call a character meal. The food at breakfast is freaking amazing. It is family style, so they bring out, you know, big platters of food and put it on the table, and you just serve yourself from the platter, and when the platter runs out, they'll bring you another platter. It is all you can eat. It is like a set price per person, so you don't actually order. They just bring you, like I said, a big platter of food. It's usually, or at least every time I've gone, it's scrambled eggs, it's bacon, sausage, and ham, it's Mickey waffles, a bunch of fruit, and breakfast potatoes. And those potatoes are freaking to die for. Like, I don't know what kind of spices and shit they put on that, but oh my god, delish. They also bring you juice, which they call Stitch juice, that is amazing. Again, I don't even know what's in it. I just know it's amazing. Like, we cannot get enough of it. Like, I should just tell them, like, just bring a vat and get a straw and just, when the vat's empty, refill, because I'm just going to keep drinking it until you tell me I can't anymore. Like, that's how good it is. Now, because it's a character meal, you get Mickey, well, you get Lilo and Stitch. They're like the main event there because it's a Polynesian, so it's like a Hawaiian-themed resort. So you have Lilo, Stitch, Mickey, Pluto, and Donald, I believe, is the last one. I'm pretty sure it's Donald. For breakfast, they come in, they stop at every table and do pictures and autographs. When we went in October, we had my nephew with us, who at the time was 4, and he loved it. Like, he could not get enough of it. They also take all the kids in the restaurant and do like a conga line with the characters with like these little like maracas. That's what they're called, like the little shaky thingies, the maracas, right? I'm pretty sure. So yeah, like I said, food is amazing, atmosphere is amazing. You have these humongous windows, and right across the lake is Cinderella's castle. Like, you can't get a better view at a meal, in my opinion, in Disney World. And it's just, it's not that pricey. I mean, it is pricey because it's Disney. I want to say it's about, I think it's like 30 something for adults and 20 something for kids, which is a little pricey, but like I said, you're getting 5 characters, you're getting an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you plan it right, you could do breakfast at like 10 or 11 at the end of the breakfast shift, and now you've just had breakfast and pretty much lunch, and then just do an earlier dinner, like 4 o'clock, and you're good. You just had 2 meals for the price of one. So, I mean, in the long run, you know. Now, for dinner there, as far as I know, at least when I was there are no characters. I have heard rumors that sometimes Lilo and Stitch are there, but I don't think it's a guarantee. I think it's just kind of like if they can make that happen, they will. If not, oh well. Dinner time is a Hawaiian luau. So there is like a huge Hawaiian luau show with like the Hawaiian hula dancers and all that. I don't know if they still do a pig roast. They used to. Dinner is also an all-you-can-eat buffet. It is a little bit more pricier than breakfast. I want to say adults are like 40 or 50 and kids are like 30. But again, it's an all-you-can-eat buffet. And if you time it correctly, if you do the later dinner, I would say like 8:30, 9 o'clock, the fireworks, because you're looking at Cinderella's castle, will be right across from you. So you can also see the fireworks from like a prime viewing spot. Like I said, I have not done dinner at Polynesian in quite a few years, so I do not know what has changed, or like I said, if Lilo and Stitch are there, or the prices exactly. I just know that the food was amazing. I remember that, and I remember that the Hawaiian dancers were incredible, and the whole like vibe of the show is very cool. But I can vouch for breakfast. Breakfast is hands down the best breakfast I've ever had at Disney World. It is absolutely amazing. The next place I'm going to talk about is the 50s Primetime Diner. This is in Hollywood Studios, or if you're old like me and been going for years, MGM Studios. It is a 50s diner that is set up like Mom's Kitchen from the 50s. All the food is very, like the menu's like Aunt Liz's fried chicken, you know, Dad's pot roast. Like, it's all very like as if you were in Mom's kitchen. The waiters and waitresses kind of play with you the whole time, as long as you play back. If you don't play back, 99.9% of the time they'll just stop because they don't want to force anybody if they don't want to do this. But like, you know, you have to like keep your elbows off the table, don't play with your phone, like eat your vegetables, or they'll just keep messing with you. We were there in October. We watched a grown man get put in the corner because he wouldn't stop playing with his phone. The child at the table next to us did not eat their vegetables and was refusing to, so the waitress took it away at the end of the meal and brought it back for dessert covered in whipped cream. I mean, eventually she brought him his real dessert, obviously, but it's jokes, you know, it's all fun. The food there is great. I had the fried chicken, which was amazing. They also have a peanut butter and jelly milkshake that is to die for if you like peanut butter and jelly like I do. And yeah, it was just a really good experience. It wasn't too pricey. I would say about average for Disney. I want to say my meal for just myself was about 40 or 50 bucks, which is pretty average for dinner at Disney World if you're going to eat in a sit-down restaurant like that. Obviously, if you're going to go to quick service, you could get dinner for $10. But, you know, if you want the whole atmosphere of it, it is what it is. And the whole vibe inside was very cool. Like, I will try to insert some pictures here because I know I took at least 1 or 2 in there. And some of the tables have, like, the little TVs. And if you, like, turn it on, it's, like, old time, like, Leave It to Beaver and, like, the Brady Bunch and, like, old TV shows, which is also pretty cool. And, yeah, it's just, it's more about the atmosphere, I guess, there, but it's very, very cool. And the next time I go down there, I'm definitely going to eat there again because I was that impressed by it. The next one on my list is the Be Our Guest restaurant, and that is the Magic Kingdom. It is also the newest restaurant at this time in Magic Kingdom, which means if you want to eat there for dinner, I would highly recommend doing your reservations at exactly 180 days before you will be there because they book up quickly. They do breakfast and lunch there, but they're both quick service. For dinner, they switch it over to like an actual restaurant. It is also the only place currently that you can meet the Beast from Beauty and the Beast. So if that's somebody that you want to meet, or if you're into meeting characters, or if you bought Memory Maker and you want the pictures, like that's an incentive, I guess, to go. My nephew at the time that we went, and possibly still now, I'm not sure, was obsessed with Beauty and the Beast. His only concern was meeting Gaston and the Beast. So we knew if we were going to meet the Beast, we needed to go eat at Be Our Guest, and I'm so glad we did. There's 3 different rooms. There's like the library, the dining hall, and the rose room that like has the rose petal from the movie like falling apart in there or whatever. It's also snowing outside the windows, which was I'm so amazed by some of the shit Disney does, and that was one of the things because like it looked so real. Like how did they do that? I don't understand it, but it amazes me like the way they do things like that. The food there was very good. Again, it's average prices. I want to say my meal was like $50 for me. It is also the only place in Magic Kingdom currently that you can get an alcoholic beverage with dinner. So if that's something or that interests you or somebody you're with, you know, it might be worth your while to go in there and eat just because you can. You can have a beer, you can have a glass of wine, you can have a mixed drink, and there's no place else in Magic Kingdom that you can do that. So it's a little bit of another incentive to go there. So you eat, I'm so sorry. I have the worst cold right now. You eat your whole meal, and then when you are done, you can go into the library, I believe, and meet the Beast. Like, he's greeting guests in the library. And about every, I'd say 20 minutes to half hour, he comes out and, like, walks through the castle, like, where everybody's eating. And, like, they make it, like, the lights all flicker and, like, it's, like, storming out. And, like, he's angry, but he's not angry. He's just the Beast, you know? I don't know. But it was a very cool experience. The inside itself is absolutely gorgeous. Again, I will try to insert some pictures. I know I at least have a picture of the ceiling because I have a thing for pretty ceilings. I don't know, I'm weird. But I might have some more pictures that I'll try to insert. And it's well worth it. It really is. Especially if you have kids that are either into the Beast or into Beauty and the Beast, or if you are, anybody in your party that's going is. The next one I have on my list is the Rose and Crown. And that is in Epcot. In Epcot, they have the countries, as most people know, World Showcase. And Rose and Crown is in the United Kingdom. I had to think for a second. I don't know why. That was weird. The United Kingdom. And it's basically just an English pub. However, I think it holds a special spot for me because my stepfather is from Australia. He also lived in England. He has family in England and in Australia. And I've been to Australia. I've never been to England, but it's on my list. But I've met his family from England because they've come to America several times. And through that, I've gotten to try a lot of British foods. And Rose and Crown is 100% very authentic. I mean, it's like bangers and mash, fish and chips, and the atmosphere is amazing. You really feel like you are in a little pub in the United Kingdom. It's very, very pretty in there. The first time I ate there, we actually ate outside, and it was just gorgeous. Like, we could see the whole lake in the middle of World Showcase. Just very, very pretty. The food is amazing. Again, I would say it's about average prices. I want to say it might be a little bit cheaper. It might be like $30 or $40 per person for a meal there. I believe they do lunch and dinner reservations, but I know for sure they do dinner because that's what I've done twice. And it's well worth it. And, you know, when in Epcot, you have so many countries to choose from for a meal. To me, it just seems silly if you're going to do a sit-down dinner in Epcot, or if you're going to eat any meal in Epcot, you know, try one of the countries. Like, you can have Chinese, you can have Japanese, you can have Mexican, Paris, like, United Kingdom, Canada. Like, there's so many options. But for me, like, my favorite absolutely is the Rose and Crown. It's absolutely amazing. And the last one on my list is 1900 Park Fair. This is located inside Disney's Grand Floridian Hotel, which is actually right next to the Polynesian. It's right by Magic Kingdom. They do breakfast as well as dinner there, and both are character meals. Both, I believe, are an all-you-can-eat. Yes, both are an all-you-can-eat buffet. breakfast is with Alice in Wonderland, the Mad Hatter, and Mary Poppins. There is the slight chance that Winnie the Pooh and his friends could show up, but it's never guaranteed. Only Alice, Mary, and the Mad Hatter are guaranteed. I was going to say Peter Pan, but I'm like, he's not there. They're the only ones that are guaranteed. The room is gorgeous. It reminds me of Mary Poppins because they have all these carousel horses everywhere, and it's just, sorry, very, very pretty. And very, like, I don't know, it reminds me of, like, 1930s or 40s or something, if that makes sense. Like, very, like, elegant, or not even, maybe, like, turn of the century, like 1904, like that Victorian era. Yeah, that was, like, the turn of the century, the Victorian era. Yeah. Yeah, very, very pretty room, very good food. The breakfast is amazing. Like, it is like a buffet line. It's not like they bring it to the table, and there's so many options. Literally anything you can think of for breakfast, they will have. And if they don't, they have like a short order cook right there at the station making omelets, making whatever, and it's so good. Dinner is also an all-you-can-eat buffet. Same deal, like you go up and get it yourself. So again, they have everything. Well, a lot of options, not everything, and they also have a cook there, like cooking. I believe he's cooking like steak and other kinds of meats, maybe. I know he has steak. I don't know what else he has. Dinner is with Cinderella, Prince Charming, the evil stepmother, and the two stepsisters. Which, if you have a child, especially a little girl, I would think that is obsessed with Cinderella, this would be excellent because you can meet pretty much all the main characters from Cinderella, and it's just such great interaction. The stepmother and the stepsisters are known for wonderful character interaction. They stay so in character. They are just, bantering with each other, bantering with you, messing with Cinderella, messing with Prince Charming, like trying to get his love, and it's just such a fun experience. And again, it is an all-you-can-eat buffet. Breakfast there I want to say is like 20-something for adults and like 18, 19 for kids, and I want to say dinner is like 30 or 40 for adults and somewhere in the 20s for kids. And yeah, honestly, any of these 5 are an amazing choice, but I cannot stress enough, 180 days, or, some of them, especially Be Our Guest, like, it's going to go. It goes so fast. So yeah, that's everything I have for my top 5 sit-down restaurants at Disney World. I think up next I'm going to do top 5 quick services. I thought about doing, like, top 5 character meals. I wanted to do a video on, like, rides that I think you need fast passes for, and rides that I think you can skip fast passes for. I wanted to do a video on ways to like save money when you go to Disney, and one on like things you should buy before you go, because there's a lot of things you can buy before you even get there, especially if you have kids, that can save you a lot of money. So if you're interested in seeing any of these, please comment below and let me know which ones, or if you have any ideas, because like I said, I know a lot about Disney. I've been a lot, and I've just gained a lot of knowledge about the parks and about, vacationing there, because I am the type of person that, and I've always been the type of person that if I'm going somewhere on vacation, like, I want to know what I'm doing, like, I want to know what's going on, where are we going, like, what do we need to do, what do we need to plan, what do we need to bring, and over the time of doing that numerous times with Disney, I've just learned a lot. So yeah, that's the end of this video. If you liked it, please comment and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching.